All right, everyone, we're live. If you haven't noticed, I am not at the game. I am homesick. The Venerable James Williams, whose birthday is today, has went in my place and is at the game right now, or he's on the way to the game right now. And we want to wish James a happy birthday. I'm not happy the fact that I'm sick. Not happy about that whatsoever. But it was and of course, I'm not. It's not.
No matter who
It's
you
not.
are,
Oops,
being
no
yourself can be
matter where
tough.
you are, be yourself. It's not the virus, so that's a good thing. It's not the virus. So, but the other way, it makes sure that it lets me have my melodious voice even deeper now. I feel more like I feel. You know what? I was thinking. I'm trying to find it now because with this new voice, Lombardi, a certain magic still lingers in the name, and the duels on the ice and the snow. Very much more John Vicenda today. Sometimes it's great because sometimes you're just like, hey, you know what? Maybe I just should be sick all the time because this voice is great. But for those that are coming in late to the show, we were supposed to live stream from the parking lot. Online Big Blue Jr. woke up sick on Wednesday, I think it was, and he was out of school on Tuesday and Thursday and Friday. So we were hoping it was going to pass through the house and get to nobody, but it didn't. It landed on Online Big Blue Senior. So I have my tea. I have my melodious voice. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. I'm gonna try to get better here. We should sing James happy birthday. We should, but you know what? Hopefully we got Frank NYG. We got NYG Frank 87 in the house. We got the big task at hand. It's the Jones hour. You gotta hope it's the Jones hour. You have to hope. You hope and I'll hurry. I'm gonna do this show and drink tea at the same time. It's throat coat tea, so it's supposed to make you feel better. I'm not feeling any better. But like I said, I'm still melodious. Sickness, big sick. Tim is the big. I am the big sick right now. But we'll get over it. We'll get over. And like I said, it's happy born day, James Williams. James Williams, if you're out there, he's driving to the game with a friend. I gave him my tickets. I gave him my parking pass. I sent it all over to him and said, you know what? You go in my spot. You take your friend. You take whoever you want to go. Just go. Just go and have a good time. Because you know what? I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm like, oh, you know what? We have to throw this out. I forgot. If I don't have this on, I'm jinxing us to lose. So you know what? I have to have that on. It's not a hot toddy. It's called throat coat tea. What do we got here? Or with or without the Morgans? You know what? I don't know. I don't know what James is drinking in the parking lot. You know what's funny? Because I had the cooler stock with beer, rum, apple juice, because James likes apple juice. So I went and got apple juice. I got all the wonderful things that makes things more wonderful. Not happy. I'm kind of depressed. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's funny. Everyone got COVID. James and OGR got COVID right before the preseason game when we were in the coaches club, and I felt real bad for them. And now I really know how bad they feel. I have, you know, it's funny. I have the cape. The cape is upstairs. The cape is upstairs, but the problem with the cape is I packed it. I packed the cape. I had everything packed. Everything was packed last night. The Jeep was full. I was ready. I was ready to rock and roll. I was leaving here at 7:30 in the morning. But what we say, JM has to say here, the Giants are the number one rushing team in the NFL after week 1. Can you believe it? Can it continue today? We're going to talk about this game a little bit. We're going to give a little bit more insight into the hold on a second. Into what's going on here. We're going to get into a little bit more insight. Because I think you need to be concerned about this game. I think you need to be concerned about DJ Moore. I think you need to be concerned about Robbie Anderson. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about Robbie Anderson because they're all like, well, Robbie Anderson. He's, been in the league for X amount of years. He's 29 years old, but he's still a speedster. He still is a guy that can get behind the coverage. And the problem with that is if you get behind the cover, you're going to start Cordell Flott. Darnay Holmes did not have a good day last week. So you have to hope of course, Darnay was the darling of preseason. So you got to kind of hope that he can ramp it up and turn it around for game 2. But you know what? They have 2 professional wide receivers, and then you have to, and LJ's right. And we're going to get to Christian McCaffrey in a minute. You have to have some concerns about the fact that you are probably going to put, Adoree Jackson on DJ Moore. And that's going to leave, Cordell Flott going straight up against Robbie Anderson. Now, the problem with that is is Robbie Anderson had a 75-yard touchdown last week. And I love it because someone said, well, it was all broken coverage. Okay, here's the problem. You have a rookie starting. So more likely, for the potential for broken coverage is going to be much greater at that point in time as well. So you have to wonder about that as well. And then you throw in the mix with Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey can not only catch the ball out of the backfield, but Christian McCaffrey is a strong runner. Now you have to be concerned about the coverage that Austin Calitro and Tate Crowder showed on last Sunday. Now, the biggest thing is because people point, well, you look at the big hit for Tate Crowder. Yeah, we only had 4 solo tackles. And I know people like to use Pro Football Focus when it's to their advantage. When it's to their disadvantage, they never quote it. But Pro Football Focus had our 2 inside linebackers rated in the low 20s, which was the worst towards the bottom of the league. Now, and Hilliard burned Tate Crowder as bad as and I always talk about the Tariq Cohen catch against a former safety who we shall not discuss, who went over to Washington. Hilliard burned Tate Crowder, and that's Hilliard. What is McCaffrey going to do out of the backfield? And then now I don't think we're either going to see Azeez Ojulari or Kayvon Thibodeau play today. I mean, so that's going to be interesting because for all the faults of Baker Mayfield can still sling it. Baker Mayfield still has the moxie. And I'm not talking John Moxon. I'm talking he still has the moxie to get the ball downfield. He still is a professional quarterback, and that's what I have been worried about this. Mike Lee has to say, what is Mike Lee? The Panthers running game scares me more than the Titans. The Panthers are more flexible with McCaffrey. They are. And and for all the crap that McAdoo gets from his failure as the Giants head coach, even though he did make the playoffs one out of 2 seasons, I think he was the scapegoat in reference to getting canned for the Eli Manning fiasco. But for all of his faults, he is still a good offensive coordinator. Well, at least he was with the Giants. He revitalized Eli Manning's career. Eli Manning had that big interception the year prior, and then 2 4,000 plus 35 touchdown seasons in a row because of the doo-doo. So, we have to worry about that. Alex Sports says, how are you doing? Let's go, Giants. Tim's not doing good. Tim's sick. Tim's home sick right now. Ashton says, glad to be back. But hey, Ashton, it's good to have you back in as well. What do we got here with Big Blue? Says, let's go, G-Man family. Happy birthday, James. It's the Vertigo season. Mazinga says, Tim is sick in the body, sick at all, a little sick in the head. I'm a lot sick in the head. We got Tom dropping in the Timmy. I can't even do the Timmy today. We got Emmanuel Reese saying, yo, what's going on? Tom says, Jones better win the game. Should he better win the game? I think he needs to be a part player. Like you have in the movies, you have your star, and then you have these guys that their entire careers are not bit players, but they're secondary players. And I think Daniel Jones needs to be a secondary player because the Carolina defense is not, I would think, is not as good as the Titans defense. But here's the problem. I think right now they're better than the Titans defense. The field goal they gave up last week, 15 of those yards came off a really bad roughing the passer play. Really bad. If you watch it, even the announcers of the game was like, that's not roughing the passer. He missed him. They looked like he went up to the top of his head, but he missed his head completely. Never even touched him. Never even touched him, Jacoby Brissett. Never. So I think their defense right now is a little bit better than the defense last week for the Titans. And I think as we progress into the season, it's going to get a little bit more exotic. The defense. I think the defense is going to get a little more exotic. The packages that we're gonna see. A little water on my nose. A little bit more exotic than the packages that we have seen previously. And you're going to see a little bit more blitzes. You're going to see a little bit more blitzes on the interior of the line. I've talked about this before. If you want to go after Daniel Jones, the easiest way to go after Daniel Jones is go right up the middle. Now, most people are going to say, well, Tim, that's so easy to say. No, it's easy to say, but it's not easy to do if you have a good interior line. But Daniel Jones, when he has the pressure in front of him, that's when he has a tendency more to fold. And so I think what Carolina is going to do is I think they're going to bring up the pressure right in the middle. And the problem is you got John Feliciano. I like Joshua. I like Joshua a lot. But the problem is I like him as a run paver. not a pass blocker. And he right now is I do not like this rotational defense, offensive line crap. I never did, because you never build continuity. You don't continuity. You never build continuity. And sometimes you need to build continuity to move forward. So like I said, I would like to see, if you look at the Giants not line in 86 and 90, they're not the most talented in the league, but they were a unit that worked well together because of the fact that they always played together. And I think that's what that's what the Giants need to do. They need to stick to a line and stick to it and not go this formational stuff. Drink castor oil. No, I'm not drinking any castor oil. I'm not drinking any castor oil. Let's see here. What do Mike Lee says? More TDs today. Slayton or Kenny G? Is Slayton, is Darius on the active roster right now? Let's go New York Giants active roster. Active roster. Let's go here for today. What is the active roster? Is he active today? Let's see here. Oh, let's see. Is Darius active today? Does anyone have the active roster for today's game? So let's see here. Let's see. We got Tony Jefferson and we got Fabian Monroe are elevated from the practice squad. Let's see. Jefferson and safety. I like Jefferson. Like I said, I think he's past his prime. Thin light side. Let's see. Kayvon Thibodeau and Xavier Jarrett are expected to miss week 2, leaving the team with the cord Ward, Zimenez, and Fox. Roche has been elevated, but ultimately deemed the 2 defensive backs more important. All right. So, so they are out. They are out. I'm going to go with Kenny, man. Kenny's got to get a touchdown sooner or later, even by hook or by crook. He's got to get a touchdown. I've said it a million times. Even a blind squirrel finds an acorn. So he's got to get a touchdown soon. I'm going to give it to Kenny. That's us. I'm going to give it to Kenny. What does Mr. Lewis have to say? Tim, getting this win today would be huge. So that would excite me. But why can't Giants fans be humble and understand last week was last week? I'm seeing fans talking about we're going 4-0 start. Mr. Lewis, I talked about this all last week. People text me going, "You're not here. You're sick." Yeah, I know. Thanks for the update. We have an update from the game. Tim's not there. He's sick. I'm just joking. I'm not even going to tell you sent the message. It was actually a very nice message. Carolina Panthers started 3-0 last year. We saw how that turned out. We were usually on the losing end of games that we had like last week. We usually weren't on the winning end. And you had your head coach, your running back, come out and say it's just one game. You had Leonard Williams, who I'm not a big fan of, not because of his play, because I think he's extremely overpaid. He came out and said, we're not buying into it yet. That we're not buying into the hype yet. So that's the question. Are you really going to buy into the hype? And I think we need to, and I've said this before, let's make sure we also get the likes up, hit the like button. I'm thinking to myself, are you going to buy into the hype yet? If we win to Mr. Lewis's point, if you win today, okay, maybe there's a little bit more excitement, because then you have Dallas at home. That's a Monday night game, and you're out. You don't have your quarterback. Dak is out. Hold on a second. Dak is out. Dak is gone. So you're going to sit in there, and you're going to have, you're going to have Cooper Rush on Monday Night Football at home. And hopefully then you are going to have your team started, your defensive start. Hopefully you're going to have your Azeez Ojulari. Hopefully you're going to have your Kayvon Thibodeau playing on that Monday night game. But like I said, you win today. Giants win today. I get, like Mr. Lewis, I get a little bit more excited. And I said the same thing about Giants fan being humbled, and I kind of got blasted for it, because I said this because someone said to me, "Well, can't we be excited because it's been a long time since we've been 1-0?" Have we reached that point in the last 11, 10 years that we're excited just because we're 1-0? If you lose today, you're 500. And I love it because, like I said, a subscriber told me, was watching The Water Boy, and he told me this. You can do it! Oh no! We suck again. So all of a sudden now, if we lose today, you're gonna have that fan base that's gonna be like, "Oh no, we suck again." It's like, guys, come on. Let's to his point, let's be humble. Let's go week. Let's do what the team is doing and go week by week. Can we just do that? Tom says, what does Tom say? I will buy into hype when Jones throws. I don't care if Jones throws for 300 yards, but I don't want him to throw for 188. And then have people tell me what an awesome game he had and how he won us the game. am I watching a different sport? Am I watching croquet? Because I looked at Josh Allen's numbers and I compared them to Daniel Jones' numbers last week. They're not even close, not even similar. But somehow Daniel Jones had a great game. He had a 4th and 1. And then people want to talk about the touchdown pass. And I've said it before, you should have given the rock to Saquon. It reminded me so much of the Seattle game in the Super Bowl when they didn't run Marshawn Lynch. And everyone knew they were going to run Marshawn Lynch, but if you ran Marshawn Lynch, he was going to get a touchdown. And I said you should have given it to Saquon because I compared it to when William the Refrigerator Perry got the call in the Super Bowl, and they didn't give the ball to Walter Payton. It was Walter Payton's only chance getting a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And Walter Payton was pissed about it for years. His son spoke about it. And things like that go through NFL locker rooms. Yeah, you're excited to get the win. But at the end of the day, as a professional player such as Saquon Barkley, who carried the mail, who carried the rock all the way down there for you, Daniel Jones was 3 for 3 for 11 yards. 11 yards on that drive. Saquon Barkley ran the ball. He ran you there, so you should give him the pay dirt. And I will tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this, as someone that's been in NFL locker rooms, that's important. That's important. Look what happened to, look at what happened over at Wendell Davis. Not being people remember Wendell Davis when, Jonathan Moxon gave him the ball instead of throwing it to Tweener. Coach got a little upset about that, though. Of course, we all know what happened at the end of that game. Today's classic letdown game. I'm glad players aren't buying it. Today is a letdown game. This would be a typical Giant letdown game. If you go back into the annals of Giants history, this would be a game that the Giants would lose. I'm hoping we reverse the trend. But having the players not buy into this makes this more interesting. I haven't given my score yet. It makes it more interesting. John Feliciano. Mr. Lewis says I'm right. I know I'm right. I'm always right. But it's true though. Let's be humble. We're 1-0. Let's just be humble about it. And let's see what happens today. If we go 2-0 today, then there's a little bit more to get excited about. Then you got an extra day off. You got the Monday night game at home against Cooper Rush. Then you can start talking about 3-0. But let's go one moment at a time. Irish Rover jumps in and says, "Happy birthday, James. Enjoy the day, my friend." James Williams is at the game. I was hoping he might call in. And, I wanted him to call in from the stadium so we can get some stadium. And I told him to take pictures from my seats because they're new season tickets and I've never sat there before. So I'm very curious what my seats are like. JM says 2-2 would be respectable, but 4-0 would be huge. But like I said, Carolina started 3-0 last year. Then you had the injuries to McCaffrey. You had the poor playing Sam Darnold. So let's just go. Let's be like the Giants. Let's be like the Giants. Giant players are saying it's just one game. Let's not look past our opponents. And we'll go one game at a time. And like I said, Leonard Williams said it. We're not buying into the hype yet. And that's what you're supposed to because they understand it's a rebuild. One win is great. 2 wins are better. 3 wins, you get to talk. 4 wins, maybe you're on a roll. And then we can talk about it. Zach says, "Feel better, Tim." I'm trying to feel better, brother. I really am. I'm a little bummed that I'm not there. But like I said, James is there representing. James is going to take pictures. He's going to send me pictures. I will post them on the Twitter page. I got a lot of nice DMs and text messages today about being sick. So I wasn't going to jump on. But I was like, I better jump on and just say hey to everyone. You are so much a DJ hater. There's some sarcasm in there. I can smell it. But like I said, if you want to compare DJ to Josh Allen, great. But the problem is, statistically, look at the difference. Look at the difference between the two. Oh no, we suck again. I love that. I love that.
You can do it! Oh no, we suck again.
That's what some Giants fans are going to be like. But you know what? It's one game at a time. Do it like the team is doing it. Pimp name Slipbag. What's going on, my brother? What worries me about this year is I'm not sold on a quarterback in the draft, and I'm worried we might have to reach for a quarterback because we can't afford to sign anyone with our cap situation. The cap situation, when you moved the money from Leonard Williams, was not a tremendous amount of cash. You did move like $6 million. But the problem is it was the fact that now that you've moved that money for Leonard, you are not going to restructure him again because you already have the dead cap money in 2024 because of the $6 million on the voidable year. So you're not going to keep pushing the money out. So you're going to have Leonard Williams on this team at that 30 plus cap number no matter what. And you have 50 million. You can't give 20 million of that to Daniel Jones. You can't. And I'm calling it now. I don't care what Daniel Jones does this year. Daniel Jones could turn into the quarterback messiah. He's not going to be here because the Giants, once again, cannot commit that much capital in reference to the salary cap on one player when you have 4 guys on the team which are eating up like 38% of your cap. Then you'll have 5 guys eating up 40% of your cap. You can't do it because you can't continuously be bad year after year. You need to replace some of the cogs on this team. People could say I'm wrong again. People can hate me for it, but I called the issues with the salary cap before this season started last year. And I said this was going to happen in 2022. And everyone told me I don't understand football. I don't know what I was talking about. I can't do math. Looks like my calculator works pretty well. What do we got, Rick, here saying? If the Panthers shut down 26, damn, ball and Danny Dimes saying you must play better at home. Let's go, Gene. But this is the thing that the Panthers are going to do. You're going to put 7-8 in the box. And you are going to dare Daniel Jones to beat you. That's what you're going to do. You're going to drop 7-8 in the box, and you're going to put the ball in Daniel Jones' hands. If I was the Giants, if I were the Giants, if I am the Giants, if I am Kafka, I'm going red right 47 X zebra. I'm going deep. First play of the game. First play of the game to loosen up the Carolina defense. I am chucking that ball 60 yards down the field because I want to put them on their toes immediately. I don't want no trickery. I don't want no swing pass to Kadarius Toney who's playing with the hamstring. Don't want any of that. I want you to line up 4 wide and just throw it. Good or bad, indifference, just throw it. Just throw it deep. Put the defense on their heels immediately so you have no clue what they're going to do next. Pimp name Slickback says, Tim, it's like what you said to Tim the last few years of his passing on quarterbacks who coming back to haunt us. Herbert, Fields, Willis. Giants left these guys on the board. You don't know if a good quarterback is coming in the draft. You don't. And that's a problem. You're never going to know what good quarterback is going to come out. You don't. You always find how many people thought Russell Wilson in the 3rd round was going to be Russell Wilson? You just don't know. You got to take your shot when you see it. And our old GM, Ernie Accorsi, lived that in Baltimore and lived that with Eli Manning. Logic's minus is not the buzzkill, but the Giants won him on a missing field. Jones didn't look good. Jones didn't good look. Missed more scoring chances than he converted, and he's still locked on his first read. You're right. That play to Saquon in the end zone, he was locked on Saquon the entire time. I always love people. You're not here. You're sick. Thank you. I know. I know. I know I'm sick, but thank you. John Feliciano. I'm not John Feliciano. Let's skip John this. Damn it. I missed the intro. I couldn't do the intro today. My throat is so blown out. I'll do it for you, Rob, next time. The other team gave away the ball. The Giants didn't take it. The field goes all. And blind hope fans. Yeah. But like I said, this is the game the Giants usually lose. Last week. In the last 10 years, this would be the 67-yard field goal by Graham Gano. This would be the game we usually lose, but we won. So you got to be happy with the win. But you have to be happy of it like what the player's perspective is. The player's perspective is this. It's one win, and you know what? At the end of the day, we have to look at it that way. Big Tim, are you not feeling? I'm not feeling good, brother. I'm sick today. Rob has to say 24-21. Tony gets his first touchdown this game. I would like to see that. Zach Attack says, I feel like the coaching staff has set reasonable expectations of this team and will hold everyone accountable, whether undrafted or Daniel Jones, unlike the last regimes did. You have to love the fact that they got into Daniel Jones's face last week. You have to love that. And you know what? I thought they were going to backtrack on it a little bit. In reference to the Giants, I really did think they were going to backtrack on it a little bit and kind of just be like, we really did. We weren't really getting into his face. We were we were just telling him he's got to do better. No, they got into his face. And Dable did not backtrack from that statement. He held Daniel Jones accountable. And I think that's what most teams need to do, or what coaching staff and we need to do. We need to hold the team accountable. And we got to kind of go from there. Accountability is going to be the key for the rest of the season. And I think that's what we need to remember. What's up, Matthew? Good morning, Tim. Good morning, Online Big Blue Faithful. The cult is in full effect. We got Joe saying 31-17. The G-Men predicted the score, so you don't have to, boys. I'm going to predict the score. I predicted 21-17 last year, a Giants win. So we're going to see what my prediction is in a little bit. Dable and Shane from the Irish Rover have players buying into the Dable system. I think his system is all about the game, the team ball, game by game. It appears to me that not everyone is important as week-to-week progress. That's the key. Week-to-week progress is what makes everything important. We got our spam coming in here. Of course, if you don't know, go SQ whatever TV.com is a new sponsor for here at Online Big Blue. I want to thank everyone. Also, the Online Big Blue podcast has been doing extremely well. So I want to thank everyone for that as well. So, but you're right. I think it's a system that we have to buy into the system. Joe says, I believe Saquon will be the MVP if not rushed this year. He could. Good point, Tim. That opens up the play action. It does open up play. Like I'm saying, first play of the game. I don't care what the results are. I don't care if Daniel Jones throws an interception. I don't care. Man him up. 4 wide receivers. Don't put Saquon in the backfield because I need someone to block. And just chuck it. Send them all out on a fly pattern. Maybe drop someone in the middle of the field. Send someone across in the middle of the field, like 30 yards into the middle of the field. But take the shot deep. Don't care the results. Go to the sideline. I don't care if the guys. This is the perfect thing for Daniel Jones as a first read quarterback. Just lock on to your first read. Don't care who it is. If Kadarius Toney is your speed guy, put him on the outside, send him on a 50-yard fly, and then throw it. And do not care what the result is. Because honestly, if you get an interception, you're probably going to get it around the 10. You're probably going to get around the 10 or the 20. So it's like a long punt. But it will loosen the defense for Saquon Barkley, and it will give unpredictability to the Carolina Panthers to have to look at and have to worry about. This is what Pose AG. Defense played good last game. Would like to see the defense with Tibbs and Aziz. Unfortunately, they're both out again. Would like to have them make their days harder. Defense didn't play great last week. You had 4 penalties for like 38 yards in holdings, and 3 of them weren't even holdings. Saquon, what's his name? Derrick Henry even said it during the game. He was running too erect. He was running too upright. Once he lowered his shoulders in the second half, he averaged over 5.5 yards a carry. They gave up big plays. The only problem is I believe it was the rust of the Titans that benefited the Giants, and that's what I said was going to happen. So we have to look at it that way. Mike Lee says, or Brady would start until a senior year, and I don't think it's going to be a game day either. Bobby Jones says, I think we start 7-0. Schedule is easy. You never can predict an easy schedule. Teams that you think are going to be a gimme game don't turn into gimme games. So, you can never tell. Any word on Kadarius? Slayton looks like he's, Kadarius Slayton, Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari look like they are not playing. We have here a score prediction. I'm thinking 31-21 Panthers, improvement for 56-30 from last week. That is a better prediction. Blind hope is overdriven. The 1 win on a missed field goal. Fans think this team is 7-0. You guys are in for a rude awakening. The schedule has been easy for the last 4 years. You're not wrong. Zach says it too. First ball, Clayton, Darius Slayton deep. I'm telling you, that's what I would do. Shake it up. Tim, who will get what you want, and then DJ will check down. I would hate that, man. That would make me upset. Oh, Tim, what's up? Hope you feel better. Happy birthday, man. James. Mi hermano James. Let's go, Big Blue. The Colt is out. The Colt is out in full effect at the game. Here's my T salute to James. And Logic finds 100% right. The defense did not look good last week. The other team will give away the game. The defense did not play well. Leonard Williams was useless unless the line was Swiss cheese. You're not wrong. I have a feeling the Giants lose on a 67 record 67 field because it's the Giants' way. You got to have hope. We got to have hope. We got to have hope. We got to have understanding. We have to, let's switch to my secondary. But that's what you got to do. You got to hope. And we're going to hope. And we're going to hope that it's going to be good. We are going to have hope today. Am I predicting the Giants win this game? Well, I think that's everyone. That's what everyone's waiting for. And like I said, I did predict the Giants to win last week. I predicted them 21-17 because I felt, like I've mentioned a million times before, that there was going to be too much rust on that defense in reference to the Titans, and the Giants were going to be able to take advantage of. Logic's fine. So we're giving a big shout out to James Williams. He was at the game. What does Rick have to say? Rick says 64 is the way chances, so it ain't happening. The fan base has too much hopium. I forgot about the word hopium from last week. Hopium is a great word. Let's say who got the lone sack last week? I believe it was Fox got this lone sack last week. We had 1 sack and 4 or 5 quarterback pressures. And Ryan Tannehill was not touched much of the game. He had such a pocket that it was easy. It was easy to look downfield. But the problem is his wide receivers are so bad. Like I said, it was a push last week in reference to the wide receivers. It was truly a push. So we got to kind of hope that we have less of a chance of push. I'm going to give my score prediction a little bit. Jones has to throw, otherwise we are winning 5 games at most. He's got to move forward. Do you expect more from the defense or the offense this season? I expect more from the defense because if you look at the defense Wink ran, Wink had the most pressure, bringing the least amount of guys. He showed multiple times he showed pressure. He showed 7-8 guys on the line, but then he backed off into coverage. And it was smart because I even said this during the game and I said this after the game, that he was smart enough to understand. He was smart enough to understand that if he brought the pressure, it was going to put more pressure on his secondary. So sometimes the illusion of bringing the heat causes more issues than the reality. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes the illusion is better than the reality. What's up, OGR? I'm sick. Online Big Blue Jr. got me sick. I think it's Ward who got the sack. Was it Ward? I believe it was NFL Giants stats. I thought it was Fox that got the sack. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. It has been known that I've been wrong. View all team stats. Let's go to team stats here. Zach Attack, where the hell are you? Why aren't you Googling this? Why aren't you Googling this for me, Zach? Zach, Google that for me. I can't type. Zach, Google that for me so I don't die. What do we got here? If the Giants start 4-0, the fan base might combust. It might be a spontaneous combustion. Matthew says, do you think if we have a decent year, they will trade up in the draft for a top quarterback? If we have a decent year, you're going to have to trade up for a top quarterback. Next week, I'm going to do my quarterback rankings. So that'll be fun. Thanks, OGR. I feel better. I'm going to try. Let's see your team. Yes, it was Fox. I knew it was Fox. Team looks decent. Jones, intriguing after the first game. And I'm going to feel better. Thank you. Yeah, it is intriguing. This is going to be an intriguing game. It's going to be an interesting game. Should I give my prediction? I'm waiting to give my prediction. Looks like we're running a 3 safety to help the second quarterback. Wink attacks will be unleashed. The only problem is that I don't see where the rush is coming from. I don't see it. And I think, and honestly, people want to push and point to some things on the offensive line for Carolina Panthers, but I think the Panthers offensive line is better than the Titans. And they got no pressure on the Titans. What's up, Mark? Hope you're doing well. So let's see. Yes, it was Fox who got the sack. CJ Stroud, baby. Like I said, I'm going to start doing a breakdown of the quarterbacks. I'm going to start, like I said, and every week, I think maybe on like Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to rank them. I'm going to rank the top seven quarterbacks that I like, not because my things are always different. Yes, it was Fox. What does David say? The game will come down to Baker. If you get him around him, he will make mistakes. I don't disagree. CJ Stroud again. What else I got here? Giants, 1 sack, 5 pressures, no quarterback hits. That's what I thought. So let's go to the Tape Tim's predictions. I'm going to put my prediction up on the bottom of the screen, I think. What do we got here? Cream has to say. What does Cream have to say? What's going on, Tim? Hope you feel better. Little tidbit, the Chiefs were 12-4 the season before they went to and drafted their franchise quarterback, Mahomes. 100%. And people forget that in Buffalo, the Bills went to the playoffs, and then they drafted Josh Allen and went 7-9, and then went back to the playoffs next year. Another little tidbit. We need Isaac Gaiman, the Sackmaster. Big shout out to Logic's Finest. We got Matthews. I love the Giants for shutting down Baker and his big mouth. I would love to as well, but I'm a little concerned about Baker Mayfield right now. I'm not a Baker fan, but I think he's a good average quarterback and knows how to hit the deep pass on our secondary. Our secondary is going to have a tough. Here's the problem with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield had a torn labium in his non-throwing shoulder last year. And the guy gutted it out and played, 14 games? And anyone that knows, if you have a tear on your non-throwing shoulder, it still affects your throwing shoulder because it affects the way you can put torque and throw on the ball, because you need a complete body motion to throw the ball. You need a complete motion to throw. And Baker, who is a little bit more of a slight stature, you need his whole body to generate a big throw. So when you have a tear here and you're throwing here, it's still going to hurt, and it's going to hurt like a mother. So he's better. And people forget the season that he had previously. So we just have to keep that in mind. What Jay Fed said? Don't look now. Jones is getting his 3rd win in a row, going back to last year. What about preseason? If it's still all about Daniel Jones, to me, I don't trust his decision making on the field. He still misses wide open wide receivers. He does miss wide open wide receivers. Mark the butt fumble Sanchez called the game last week, and I don't like Mark Sanchez. At first I didn't like the way he was calling the game, but then if you actually listen to him, he actually had some insight. And he pointed out on at least 3 separate occasions that Daniel Jones didn't even look downfield and had wide open guys. So that comes from the butt fumble, not me. Whatever your prediction is, I'm putting money on it. My prediction, pain. OGR said, this is OGR. If Shane believes that CJ Stroud is a campus quarterback of the future, you do whatever it takes to get your quarterback paid. And Ernie Accorsi proved that. And I've told the story a million times. Ernie Accorsi is in Baltimore. He's sitting there with John Elway right there. John Elway says, I'm not coming to your team. Ernie Accorsi still doesn't want to trade out. Ownership makes him make the trade. They get rid of John Elway. John Elway becomes history, and the history is written in Denver. So when Ernie Accorsi got to the Giants and he saw Eli Manning, and Eli Manning was his guy, he said he thought to himself to the fact that I can't let my quarterback get away again. So he moved heaven and earth to get his quarterback, and you think that's what Shane's going to have to do. People say, I'm forgetting that 2 years ago, Baker had 20. Thank you. Yes. He's a good quarterback when healthy. When you have a torn labium in your shoulder and your non-throwing shoulder, it still affects how you throw and your rotational pull and the way you move your body. It hurts. I had a torn labium and I never played quarterback. And I can tell you like this, just moving your arm like this on the other side still hurts. It still is painful. Baker will target Cordell Flott since he's off. Like I said, Cordell Flott couldn't cover a bed with a blanket in preseason or in training camp at times. So he's going to be smart enough to put Robbie Anderson on him, and he's going to send Robbie Anderson deep a bunch of times. So it doesn't matter. Too many candidates for the Elvis Patterson horse. That's everyone that don't know. That is Elvis Patterson, the 86 cornerback, alongside with Perry Williams. He was affectionately known as Toast because he always got burned so much. He had one good year. He had one good year. The Giants, that was in 86. Giants secondaries had a long day last week. Several penalties and big yard plays were of the game. I've been saying this since last year, how bad the Giants secondary is. The Giants secondary is not good right now. It's not good. Not sold on Stroud. Should have drafted Willis.
All aboard the Malik Willis Express.
That way the rebuild would have been fast on track. It wouldn't have been fast on track because Willis is still going to need a year of maturation and seasoning. So I mean, not that I not that I wouldn't want Malik Willis to play, but he would have needed at least another year. What is that button? I labeled the button, but I don't know what I labeled it. What's the? Oh, wait a minute.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
I forgot that was one of the new sound effects I was adding. Forgot about that sound effect. OGR Lunch fine. So we're making a very good point. I countered with Marion Gettleman set this franchise back by not drafting a quarterback, not going after running back. Quarterback, Barkley was the wrong pick at this. But here's the thing, Logic wise, if hindsight, what quarterback in that draft outside of one was the guy? People question Josh Allen coming out of the draft. They question his coming from Wyoming. They question his accuracy. They question, they never questioned his ability or his athleticism, but they question it. So at the time, make sure you hit the like button, guys. At the time, that quarterback, you didn't know. You want Josh Rosen? You want Sam Darnold? It was an unknown. Rolly says, OGR can't be afraid to get your quarterback. Do what Ernie did. A warning for us as the Colts. They pushed back after 7 years for quarterback. Now that they're stuck in no man's land. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's funny. Carson Wentz actually looked pretty good at times last week. And I've always said people, you got to be concerned about how Carson Wentz is going to look in this division. Our biggest break is a bad break. Is a bad break for Dak Prescott. That was our biggest break. What's up, Hirsch, for real? I'm doing good. No, I'm not. He better play better than the past because he could have had blown it too. He could have blown it. You're right. Zach Attack says, I've been watching the FX. I've been watching sound FX with the Giants and linebackers coach was yelling at Tate Crowder for not getting up the field fast enough. You could talk about the big hit all you want about Tate Crowder, but then if you're going to use Pro Football Focus, I tell people you got to use the fact that Pro Football Focus gave him like a 28 rating, 0.28. He had blown coverages. He had one big hit, and he did not hit Derrick Henry head on. He hit him off to the side, and Henry didn't even see him. Yeah, it was a nice highlight hit, but a highlight does not make a game. A highlight makes ESPN. Tackles, coverage, the ability to maintain your edge, the ability to follow your assignment on the running back. That makes you a better player, not a highlight hit. Highlight hit gets you on ESPN, and that's about it. I always go to the fact of basketball. Go back and watch Roy Marble's highlights in the NBA, or Jerome Lane. Go watch their highlights in the NBA because they just have highlights. They don't have careers. Of course, that's also basketball. As an important thing to remember, this is in drafting a quarterback isn't the way. Picking number one. If you're finding a quarterback that works most of the plans, what's his name? The Levy, maybe preferred over Bryce. I don't know who we're going to go pick yet, but we're going to find out. We're going to get there. Let's not worry about it yet. Saquon Barkley is great talent. I always said that. He was the wrong pick. The team needed a quarterback, not a ribbon. But the problem is only one quarterback on that draft panned out. And no one had him on that. Everyone had him on his radar, Josh Allen, but no one had him going as high as number 2. So that's why I don't. Let's see. I want Levy from Kentucky. DJ does well. He should franchise him and make it. He's not. They're not going to franchise. They just don't. They don't have the money. Sorry, they don't have the money to franchise him. They don't. Does Saquon Barkley have a single run for 40 yards? B, run for 100 yards and have 150 combined totals yards, all above. You will score your score prediction next podcast. I'm going to give you my score prediction in a minute. Still believe Barkley and Jones are not extended by the Giants. You might extend Barkley because right now he's paid like the 6th highest running back or the 7th highest running back. So you may extend him. I don't know yet. The team was missing Quincy. Quincy just can't get on the field. Something with Quincy Roche and this coaching staff isn't just not meshing right now. It's the same thing with getting rid of Blake Martinez when they did. Something's just not right. Jaron Hall is way too old. He's 26, wrong for that age. Yeah, we also remember Chris Winkie. Winky was like 29 coming out and was drafted in the first round. Logic's finest is always on point. He is most of the time. James H says, how can we humble if every Giants podcast is talking about that one victory on every show? Really? Really, James? Every podcast is talking about that one victory? Evidently you don't watch this show all the time, because I've said it a million times. It's one game, it's a snapshot in time, it's a moment in time. You win one game, I'm excited because we haven't won one game in a long time. You win 2 games, I'm a little bit more pumped. You win 3 games, then we can start talking. You go into that 4th win, then we have something to discuss. Hey, is the parking lot? Yeah, James. Yeah, yes. Yes, they scan. Yes, they scan the code at the gate. It's in the premier parking. James is at the game right now. What's up, Jeff? Timmer. Let's move on and let's start talking about last week's. No, I'm done with last week. It's now this week. Obviously, no one listens to 312 and 1 the podcast, which actually is not true. We have a lot of downloads on our podcast. It's all under Online Big Blue. If you haven't found it, just go to Online Big Blue or just type in New York Giants and you will see Online Big Blue talking straight talk. And then you'll see my little logo and you go out and you can watch, listen to the podcast. It's actually very good. Let's see. Fair points. And where about Saquon Pax is neutral. If you'd be honest, between him and being injured prone, having the bust at quarterback, the team has been a loser. But again, that's not Saquon Barkley's fault. That's not his fault. I was a big Joe Lamar Jackson going out of college, but thought he was extremely special. Not my corner. Never saw it with Josh Allen, but it was I actually loved Lamar Jackson coming out of college. I watched him play in Louisville a lot. That's all it is. Did you print out no, man, you were supposed to print out the ticket. You were supposed to print out the ticket. It's a PDF. They might be able to scan that. You should be able to pull it up on your phone. See what happens when I'm not there? See what happens when I'm not there? James is trying to get into the parking lot, but I think he got the wrong scan on the wrong ticket. What's up, Saeed? I'm not doing good. I'm sick. Let's see. We need OGR to do an in-depth interview with Julian Love. That would work out perfectly. I want to talk about this game, though. I want to talk about the score for this game. I've thought about this repeatedly over the week. I've thought about this. I've given this score a lot of thought. And if you take everything in the factor that it is the Giants' home opener, they are going up against a Carolina Panther team who had a bad loss last week. And you could say it was a bad loss because of the fact that 15-yard penalty should never have occurred for that roughing the passer. That should never have occurred. And that's a good chunk of their drive was that 15-yard penalty. And you have to take a look at the fact that Saquon Barkley is like girls gone wild. He was running wild all over the place last week. But if you know he's healthy now, the key is going to be you're going to drop 7 in the box. You are going to drop 7, 8 in the box and keep them there and make Daniel Jones beat you. He says, this will be Daniel Jones' game today. He has to win it. So you drop 7, 8 in the box and you make Daniel Jones beat you. You have to then be confident enough in Kenny G and your other wide receivers that they are going to make the plays, that they are going to come up with the big plays. And I think about this because then you also have to think about the other side of the ball. You don't have Kayvon Thibodeau. You don't have Azeez Ojulari. You have Cordell Flott starting. We are in a panic that we are in a panic that Aaron Robinson is not playing. Can you believe that you were in a panic for Aaron Robinson not playing? People are panicking over this. Here's the problem. It's Aaron Robinson. It's not like we lost James Bradbury and just have Adoree Jackson. It's Aaron Robinson. So at the end of the day, you have to look at the pros and the cons. As a Giant fan, I go into every game thinking that the Giants are going to win. thinking that the Giants are going to win, hoping the Giants are going to win. But if you want to be as a prognosticator, you have to think about this logically. And I am thinking about this logically. I think you have issues in the secondary. I think you have issues in the pass rush. I think you have the letdown capability for this. And I think you are going to have some issues trying to get something going. So my score prediction, and I'm going to throw it up here right now. I am predicting, of course, happy birthday, Panthers 27, New York Giants 17. It's going to be a spoiler of the home opener. We're looking at 27-17 Panthers. And I should have wrote Panthers with an S. And like I said, as a fan, I want the Giants to be 2-0. I will be pumped if the Giants are 2-0. I really will. I'll be ecstatic. But as a realist and as a football realist, if I'm looking at this from a football perspective, you have to give the odds a little bit to the Panthers. And now I'm worried. Now I have a lot of worries in regards to, Daniel Jones being the man. Hopefully Daniel Jones can step up and have a New Orleans type game. But I'm also worried about the fact that they're going to key on Barkley. They are going to key on our receivers. And we don't really have one right now. The defense is undermanned against two, and I've said this before, the Giants wide receivers last week, it was a push. There was no advantage because the receivers for the Carolina Panthers are so bad that they would make the Giants corners look average. The problem is now you have two quality NFL professional wide receivers. And if DJ Moore does not scare the hell out of you, Robbie Anderson should on that other side. And then you throw Christian McCaffrey into the mix. Christian McCaffrey is not going to be Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is a plodding back. He's a plodding back. He's going to move forward. He's going to move the pile forward. He's going to go straight. He's a plodding back. He is not a guy that's going to be as shifty as Christian McCaffrey. He's not that guy. And so that's why I'm looking at the Panthers with the upset. I also have the Panthers at 2017. Tim sounds like an upper respiratory infection. Get well, Tim. No, it's a head cold. I have a head cold. And the problem is, let's get gross. Everything's just draining. I have a head cold. My son had a head cold, so it's the same thing he's got. Barkley will keep the be the key part of the passing game today. He's going to have to be. Tim sounds like Chris Collinsworth last week. I don't know what I didn't see. Was Chris Collinsworth sick last week? I keep telling you, I sound, I'm doing more of, and I can't wait to do a video later today because you know what? I have that, where is it? I have that voice. Lombardi, a certain magic still lingers in the name. With tools in the ice and the snow. Panthers win the game. 27-17 over the G-Men. I have that very deep John Bazenda voice at the moment. James, I gotta get to you in a minute. Let's be clear. I'm not saying Saquon injury is a reason. Oh, I know logics. I understand it. What do we got here? Mark Thompson says, I feel we will lose the game too. A lot of deficiencies on D. Have to score points to make Panthers throw. Best D is a good D. Oh, and the offense fine. You're right. You're 100% right. I mean, what is everyone's scores here? Let's throw out the scores. I gotta, like always, I got somewhere around. Oh, it's upstairs because I was going to give it away at the game today. I'm giving away the replica New York Giants Super Bowl ring. It would be the 2010 version. It's the Eli Manning replica ring. I don't know where it went. Let me look for it real quick. It is upstairs. So you know what? Put in your score predictions. Whoever gets the score, like we did last year, whoever gets the score prediction correct will win the 2010 Eli Manning replica Super Bowl ring. So let's see what score predictions we got here. So get your score predictions, win the ring. No predictions for me. I think it might be a close game, but you got to say who's going to win. You have to give me predictions, I would say, but who's going to win the game? Who's going to win it? We got the first one steady coming in, going Giants 21, Panthers 16. I would like that game to be that way. Let's see. Pimp names like this is a typical letdown game like in 2011. We went to beat Dallas and JPP blocked. The only field will get crushed by Washington next week. Irish Rovers got it coming in 24-21 Giants. With my heart, this game. I agree with my heart. We also have Mark Thompson coming in, going 27-23 the Panthers. Jose G going 24-17 Giants. Pimp name Slickback says Panthers 27, Giants 14. He's copying my score, but that's okay. Dable is calling for a big crowd noise. Let's be, you know what? Again with the hopium. Why does an NFL coach, why do NFL players have to implore their fans to make noise during the home opener? I didn't get that. I still don't get that. I grew up going to the Meadowlands. It was that bad season. That shit was always loud. 83 and 312-1. That shit was still rocking. What do we got, Tom here? Tom's got the Giants 24-28. Let's see here. Zach Attack says 5-3 Giants last year. We have a baseball score. You came close once on the baseball score, Zach. Timothy says Giants. No, they can't trade Kenny G or wreck the cap. Let's see. Wolfie says, as a Giants fans, I've learned never to expectations, but I'll take a guess. 27-20 G-Men. We got Big Ben coming in, Ben 23, saying G-Men win 27-21. I am what that I am. Giants 40, Panthers 14. Then I locked off my PlayStation. Hey-o. Timothy's got the Giants coming in at 37-16. John B says 27-14 Panthers. Jeff Newman is 27-21 G-Men. Tom's coming in saying at this point, I fully expect Jones to get booed. Jones will get booed unmercilessly if he sucks today. Jones will be booed unmercilessly. And I'm going to tell you this. If the Giants are in a situation to win this game and Daniel Jones is playing horrid, do not be shocked if you see the OG QB. Do not be shocked if you see Tyrod Taylor. Because as Dable is saying, they're playing this game one game at a time. This season is one game at a time. So he's gonna, and he even said he's gonna play with the guys that he trusts. If Saquon can stay healthy, he can still produce. I will not trade him, but business makes sense to trade. If the Giants are not in the playoff hunt, Saquon Barkley's having a good season coming around the trade deadline, you're gonna get rid of him. You're gonna trade him. Kayvon is not playing today. Kayvon is out today. Come on, guys. Everyone else got their score predictions? What are we pimp names? Because I think Art Stapleton said the defense is going to top before those. They're worried about how much the fans will react to Jones and Galley on the big screen. The defense seems to have more fan favorites. They do because everyone loves the defense. Everyone loves to attack. I mean, who doesn't love to attack?
What's your assignment?
Kill the quarterback. Hit the tight end so hard his girlfriend dies. Kill everybody.
Everyone loves the attack. And that's what we have to hope. We have 31-17 Logic Minds coming in with the Panthers. We got Iron coming in and say 24-17. Who, though? Whom will be 24-17? Who's your guy, 24-17? Let's see. Mike Lee says, in case you missed early, no confidence in DJ, 21-10 Panthers. It's going to be the Panthers. Like I said, I am hoping for a win, but as a logical football perspective, looking at it as an outside perspective, if I was a Giant fan, if I have my Giant fan hat on, I'm saying 21-10 Giants. But if you have the prognosticator hat on, it's Panthers 27, Giants 17. If you have your prognosticator hat on. Your fan hat, I always get the Giants winning. We got another one coming in at 27-23 G-Men. Let's see. Iron says 24-17 Giants. Zach Attack comes in. Panthers win 8-3. What Shindiggy say? Shitty Greg said, what do you say, Greg? You say it's going to be Giants win 56-14. I would like a 56-14 win. I would love a cakewalk. I think a cakewalk would be awesome for a change. But I just don't see us getting a cakewalk at this moment in time. I wish I did. I wish I could sit there and tell you this is going to be a cakewalk. This is going to just roll forward, and we're just going to collapse this and win. All right. Anyone else going to give out their scores here? We got a couple more scores. Let's give a few more minutes here for people to give out their scores. Let's see. We got Rick coming in. Panthers 21-20. Sadly, that would be amazing. That would be an amazing game. Zach Attack has a DJ prediction goal 11 for 23, 155, one touchdown, 2 fumbles, and people say he had the greatest game in the world. I edit that in for you. Let's see here. Sorry, I meant to say 16-14. That's okay. Oh, I liked your other score better. I think everyone liked the other one better. 27-17 Carolina. Feel better soon. Dominic, what's up, Dom? Dom knows I'm crushed about not going to the game. Dom's text messages are pretty funny. Dom's text messages are pretty damn funny. Dom was basically telling, when I told him that I didn't have the virus, that now I can sulk about not being able to go to the game. I can sit home and sulk. I was like, only a true friend would say that. If the Giants win, the deed will be a defensive touchdown. I agree. I think LJ, you can get more than one prediction too. LJ says 31-17 Panthers. That's his second prediction. You have Ron Harris coming in, dropping in a 23 Giants, 23-20 G-Man. You can drop in as many predictions as you want till the clock runs out. And, you know, I have the clock ticking here. No, I don't. I wish I did. That would have been real. That would have been really professional. That would have been professional. I don't know what the hell I got on this board. What is cheering? You can cheer for people. Let's see here. You know what? We have to say it. We got to say it for Daniel Jones.
You can't keep me cooped up in here, okay? I am a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
You gotta let the peacock fly. You really do. And let's just hope he doesn't. I don't think peacocks fly though. All the times I lived in Miami, I don't remember seeing peacocks actually get more than a foot off the ground. In all fairness, I'm hilarious, but normally when I'm trying to make a prediction. Oh, Dom. Can I show? I think I have to hold on a minute here. Where is the hilariousness? Where is the hilariousness of Dom? Let me see if I have it here. Is that where I have that? Wait a minute. Is that mine or his? Let me see what this is.
You know you're having a weird day.
No, can't play that one. That's not the one I'm looking for. But you know you're having a weird day. Oh, I must have gotten rid of Dom's new sound effect. Or did I? Hold on, I gotta look. Did I get rid of Dom's new sound effect?
I wish I was.
Oh, here it is. We have the Dom sound effect.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. Still got it in my fucking head.
That is the Dahmer sound effect. That's the new Dahmer sound effect. No, Dom, it's the Dom wrap off.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. Still got it in my fucking head.
That's that song. That was
Dom soundbite.
Oh, wait, that was me telling Dom soundbite. But that's the Dom sound effect. That's gonna be the new one. Draft baby is not coming. I like the Dom rap better. Kadarius Toney doesn't want to practice being a wide receiver. Maybe have him starting practice at quarterback in G-Men 27-14. We got the big Dahmer in the room. Everyone loves the Dahmer. We got Danny Seizing. CJ Stroud threw a Giants jersey on and led us to 45-10 against the Carolina Panthers. I like it. The Giants defensive win. Okay. Giants 17-14. Let's see here. Damian Jackson, if the Giants win, I'll be happy camper. If they lose, I'll be a less happy camper. If the Giants win, I'll be happy. And like I said, if I'm putting on my Giants hat and I'm predicting this game, I'm saying Giants 21-10. If I'm looking at it from a prognosticator standpoint, if I'm looking to make cash, I'm picking the Panthers 27-17. Let's see here. At least I did, but I did at least self censor myself by bleeping the F word out. You did. You gotta love the Dahmer. Everyone loves the Dahmer. We got any other score predictions coming in here? Anyone else coming in with some big scores that we can drop on the big board so you can win the Eli Manning 2010 Super Bowl replica ring from the New York Giants? I do have one available right now, but it's upstairs in a coffee mug because I was taking it to the game today to give out to some lucky person in the parking lot. I was just going to walk up to some lucky person and say, here you go. Have this Eli Manning 2010 replica ring courtesy of Online Big Blue. Because that's the awesomeness of myself. You know I'm sick. I'm delirious. LJ's giving a big old shout out. Dom Palmer says, Logic Man, you deserve to beat us the other week. You were clinical and you were naive. Oh, God, we must be talking about soccer. No soccer. No soccer. I wish people would understand that despite that when DJ still sucks and had a mediocre game at best, he had an average game. And I honestly think he had a below average game. It's not a bad thing. You still won. You had Saquon Barkley go off, but you still won. And the whole Skip Bayless crap about, him being only whipped cream and not being cake was stupid. As stupid as stupid does. Because Barry Sanders ran the same way. I compared him to Gale Sayers. Gale Sayers did the same thing. For all you old folk. What's up? We're giving shout outs to LJ. That confused him. It always confuses me. I'm sick. Don't fuck with me. I'm sick. It's not the day would fuck with me. I'm sick. You can screw with me tomorrow when I feel better. Hopefully I feel better tomorrow. All right, guys. It is now 1:05. No, it's not. It's 11:35. It's now 11:35. I was hoping that James Williams would call from the parking lot and show me what my seats look like. I really would like to see where I'm sitting. This is actually good. I didn't go so I can have James go there and see where I'm sitting. I may give away my tickets for Monday night Cowboy game. Haven't decided how we're going to do that yet. Where is T-Brad? T-Brad is MIA. El Gigante comes in and says 21-23 G-Men. Damian Jackson says the only sports show that doesn't hate on the Giants is Good Morning Football. I don't know why the Giants are a staple. I don't know. Maybe they like them. Let's see. Don, you can't be sick. Your mask. You can't be that sick. Your mask still sucks. My math is pretty bad. My math is pretty bad right now. Let's see here. You must live close by or not worry about. Oh no, I'm sick. I live far away. I got up at 6:30 this morning to get ready to go to the game. And I got up and I said, I can't go. I said, I probably could have, I told my wife, I probably could have manned up and went. But then I would have got everyone at the game sick. I would have gotten James sick. And then by the time I would have gotten home, I would have been a wreck. And I didn't want to, and you got stuff during the week. So I was like, I need to rest. And it's one of those things that, you sit there and make sure you let's get up to 50 likes before we check out of here. It's one of those things you feel well enough, then you walk the dog and you're like, it's like that winded me. I got to find some Benadryl though. I got to dry myself out. Because that's what everyone wants to hear on the show. I just talk about my life. What would Mike Lee says? Mike Lee said you would have had I don't know. We got to give Connor a big shout out for the super chat. All super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. Giants 24-20 Giants. Most exciting to watch. Anthony Thomas pancakes and people. I would love to see Anthony Thomas pancakes and people. He's doing well. He had one game. He's got a good game. He had a good Pro Football Focus rating. But you know what? Let's go into game 2. And I don't think on this line that Thomas is going to be any issue. I don't think he's going to be any problem. I don't really know. I don't think that's going to be the problem. Hold on. I think your problem is Evan Neal. Your problem is John Feliciano. Your problem is going to be Glowinski. But I don't see anyone else being an issue. Yep. Matt from Connecticut, of course, is hurt. Any news on Matt from Connecticut? He's still waiting to come back. We also, anyone remember when Orlando Pace almost won the Heisman based on pancake blocks alone? I do remember that. I do remember that clearly. We're at 49 likes. Let's hit that 50 likes. Let's hit that 50 likes so I can go take some Benadryl. We're at 49. Let's see here. Holmes will get his first INT today. I hope he does because he did not look good last week. He did not look good, and he did not play a quality wide. He did not play in a quality slot guy. So, and there was talks about moving him to the outside, but I don't think you can. Tony is playing today. Tony is active today. So let's see how much the coaching staff trusts him. And let's see if they roll him out there. Matt has worked on his technique and footwork and learned the game during the offseason. No. Is Homer Simpson playing a cornerback? He might be. Oh. T-Brad, I'm sick, brother. I'm sick. I couldn't go to the game. I had to send James. by himself. No, he went with a friend. We'll wonder where you went. Walla, New York says 42-27 G-Men. I like the prediction. I like it. I'm going to go with it. Dominic Parker says, don't forget to like, guys. This guy is streaming despite being sick. Despite being very sick, I'm streaming. That's how much I love you guys. I am streaming even when I'm deathly ill. I'm on my deathbed. Don't send flowers, send cash. I want to go to the Bahamas. Hey, yo, just kidding. Oh my God. Slayton is active too. So you know what? Let's hope that Darius Slayton gets his ass on the field. Slayton, it does not have no. I don't want to get Joe. I don't want to get into the Slayton thing today because there's so many misconceptions and misnomers about Darius Slayton in the season last year. And I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it because I see things on social media and I see other things. And I'm like, oh my God, what are people just stupid? I'm not saying you're stupid. The problem is people don't understand this. I have a filter. Dom may not believe this, but I have a filter. And sometimes the filter catches things that my mind is thinking that I shouldn't say. I have a filter. It doesn't work all the time. Sometimes that filter is clogged. But the problem is when I'm sick, I don't have a filter. It just all comes out. It just all comes out not in a good way. So this isn't the day to ask like honest questions. Because if you ask honest questions, you will get 100% an honest answer today. Let's see. Kayvon is out. Let's see. Kayvon's out. Aziz is out. Tony is in. What else we got here? But just make that little dent. 90 minutes before kickoff. Dane Belton is going to be a full participant. He was making his NFL debut. Kadarius Toney is still he's still questionable today, but he is there. You got Fabian Maroney and Tony Jefferson playing. So inactives are there. Kayvon Thibodeau, Azeez Ojulari, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jason Pincock, Aaron Robinson, Nick McLeod, and you got the offensive lineman Phillips for the Panthers inactive, or Hopkins, Mays, Barno, and Smith. Okay. I don't trust Galladay at all either. I don't trust Galladay holding anything. You did a video on Slayton and misleading stats. Yes, the misleading stats. I think there's sarcasm coming there into my glee. Slayton catches the touchdowns. They would need him to get on top of the defense. So if Slayton is playing, then okay, here's my plan. I'm the Giants. This is what I'm doing. We are sending the first play of the game. If I'm the Giants, I'm going 4 wide. I was putting Slayton on the sideline, one of the sidelines, and I'm sending him streaking. I'm sending him on a fly. I'm going to tell Daniel Jones, do your thing, lock on, and just chuck it. Chuck it as far as you can throw it. Shock the hell out of the Panthers defense. Loosen up that middle. Show unpredictability for their defense. I don't care what the results is. It could be an interception, could be an incomplete pass. Don't care. That's what I would do. Listen, I don't trust Galladay to catch a touchdown, but he does get open sometimes. Tim, can we get rid of Galladay? Nope, can't get rid of Galladay's contract next year either. Nope. We're still stuck with his butt. Tony reminds me of the flashy guys I've seen. Good for 1, 2, 3 flashy plays. Also, you will be coming and having nothing good. You get 3 good quarters and nothing else, and he's not the answer. I've said it before. There's a difference between a highlight player and an actual player. Go look at the highlights of Roy Marble in the NBA. Go look at the highlights of Jerome Lane in the NBA. Great highlight guys. All flash, no substance. That's kind of where Kadarius Toney is leading right now. Toney is easily defended. Just stay in front of him and let the backups arrive. I've said that a million times. Said that a million times. Just put him out there. Let the cavalry come and get him. We have any more score predictions? We're at 55 likes. This is the homesick edition. I'm going to go lay down. I'm going to go lay down. I'm going to go fall down. I don't know which one's going to be. It's going to be one or the other. Any other score predictions before we get out of here? It's a short show today.
That's what she said.
But I just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone's predictions before we leave. Would like to get in the 60 likes before I left. Now I'm getting greedy. No more predictions? Bueller. Let's see here. We got the last one coming here, 21-14. Hopefully Coach yelled at Jones already. Feel better. You know what the problem is, T-Brad? James went to the game with my tickets. So I can't put him we can't have him on the group chat, group text. Because we have to do everything exactly the same.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
We got to do exactly everything the same. T-Rad's coming in saying 1724 Giants. Thank you, Irish Rover. I appreciate that. Mr. Lewis has it as 2017 G-Men. I'm excited about it. I'm happy about it. You know what? We will have a broadcast after the game. We're not going to do a live stream, but we'll have a broadcast after the game. We'll do our normal quick recap. And I told people sometimes, maybe I'll do as long as I don't text, we win. That's a good point. You're off the group text. That's pretty funny. I like that one. As long as I don't text, we win. You're like the fan that when you go to the bathroom, your team scores, so you kind of have to stay in the bathroom. That's the T-Bread fan. I'm gonna feel better. I'm gonna go relax. I'm gonna sit down for another hour and 20 minutes, get ready for the game. And like I said, if we win, we win. That's great. As a Giant fan, my prediction as a Giant fan, I'm gonna type this out. There we go. I'll put it on the banner. Oh my goodness gracious, everyone's killing me here. All right, let's see here. Panthers 20. Giant fans, my fandom score. My fandom score is 24-14 G-Men. Okay, there we go. All right, so I've given you my actual score. The score that I would, if I'm betting on the game, I am drinking tea. I'm drinking throat coat tea, it's called. If my betting score is Panthers 27-17, my fandom score is 24-14 G-Men. So there we go. That's what we're gonna say. If you want to have the betting score, you want to go out and place a bet, which we don't suggest, is Panthers 27-17. My fan hat score is G-Men 24-14 G-Men. There we go. I like Celtics Pride. Oh, Celtics Pride movie. I love, not that I want to get into a movie talk now, but you had Dan Aykroyd, you had Daniel Stern, you had Shooter McGavin as the head coach, and what was you had Damon Wayans. What was Damon Wayans? Lewis Scott was Damon Wayans. Lewis Scott. That was a good. That was a good movie. I actually like Celtic Pride. And they try to kidnap him. Well, they kidnap Lewis Scott before Game 7. I'm not going to ruin the movie if anyone wants to watch it, but they kidnap Lewis Scott before, and he's like the star league player. He's like Michael Jordan, but kind of an asshole. Michael Jordan was kind of an asshole too. But they kidnap him before Game 7. And I'm not going to ruin the plot. I'll ruin the movie if anyone wants to watch it. But and then at the very last scene, the Patriots are playing, I forget what team. I think it was the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. And then they try to go and kidnap Deion Sanders. I'm going to drink my black tea. Miss Lewis says, feel better. I don't know why I did score prediction, because it ain't about wins and losses. It's not. It's about moving forward and producing talent and cultivating talent. Mark Ryan says 24-13 Giants, another nail biter. Let's see. Vic's Cures. That's the Puerto Rican way. That's the Puerto Rican way. Anyone that lives in a Hispanic household understands Vicks. It cures a lot. It's also a seasonal change, so that could be it too. No, this is a cold. I thought it was allergies at first, because I have bad allergies, seasonal allergies. I thought it was allergies. I did, but then it just progressively got worse. And like my online Big Blue Junior has a head cold for 2 days. He was missed school for 2 days, so I was just lucky enough to get it. But anyone knows, if you live in a Hispanic household, Vicks cures all. Got a cold? Slap some Vicks on. You got chicken pox? Put some Vicks on it. Broken leg? Put some Vicks on it. Gunshot wound to the chest? Get the Vicks. It works for everything. Feel better, Timmy. I will. Thank you. I'm going to run these last chats. What do we got here? Did you make the banana pancakes? I always make banana pancakes. But it's important to know who the unlucky guys are. It always is. What do we got here? If you haven't seen Celtics Pride, you missed a pretty funny movie. Oh yeah, like I said, you have to go watch Celtic Pride. You really do. Like I said, it's a pretty funny movie. It's one of those movies that came out. Was it coming out in the 80s? No, it came out in the 90s. Didn't it come out in the 90s? Oh, I really am old. It came out like in 96, 97. I think 96. It did. And like I said, it's a good, stupid movie to watch. And it's a funny movie. Once you just get, once you put back, just push away all belief in things, it's a fun movie to watch. And then they have Larry Bird in it. Irish Rover says, my wife gives me Vicks for everything. She's Mexican. Yeah, Vicks, man. Vicks. Your car has some kind of knock and ping in it. Drop some Vicks. You got a broken leg? Cast? Vicks. It's the end all cure all. Black folk believe in Vicks as well. You gotta love Vicks, man. James Williams told me that too. I'm not Hispanic, but my parents swear by Vicks. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, RJ Salazar. Thank you. Famous quote in the most famous quote in the movie. Oh God, I don't know. What is the famous quote in Celtic Pride? I don't remember. I remember, hey, Lewis Scott, I'm not going to jail for you. That's the only one I can think of right off the top of my head. When they're in the crowd, he goes, "Hey, Lois Scott, I'm not going to jail for you." If you want to talk about there's the scene when they're in the crowd in the first game that Boston loses in Game 6, and I can't remember which guy does it, yells it out. I think it was Daniel Stern, and he yells out to Lewis Scott, "Hey, Lewis, I heard Manute Bowles banging your wife." I think that was not Breakfast Club. I think that's the one I can think of. It's an 88 Magnum. It shoots through schools. Oh no, that's Johnny Dangerfield. My mother. I love it. My father hung me on a hook once. It's a banana pancake quote. Yes, I know, but I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to even know. There's other good quotes in that movie. But I do remember. Hey, Lewis Scott, I heard Manute Bowles banging your wife. What was it? There was another one. I remember the one where the girl in the she works in the concession stand, and she likes Dan Aykroyd, and she toasted the bun of his hot dog. And I remember she goes, whatever your name is, I even toasted the bun for you. And he goes, toasted the bun? There's no oven around here. He's like, I use my curling iron. I feel the need for speed. I haven't seen the new Top Gun yet. I'm gonna watch that. Not tonight, though. I gotta watch the Giants. Has anyone else got anything else to say? I keep looking at movie quotes now. Now I got T-Brad wanted me. Now I got T-Brad. Now I need to go watch. Now I literally have to go watch Celtic Pride. I don't even know if it's streaming anywhere. I don't think it's streaming anywhere. But now I have to go. Now I have to go watch Celtic Pride. I'm trying to think if there was anything. I do remember that my favorite one is, "Hey, Manute Bowles banging your wife." Oh, and I also like the scene when they're doing the drinks in the scene. They're trying to get Lewis drunk, and they're naming their drinks. And one of the drinks is called this drink is called Jimmy's Dick. He goes, "It's short and it's fat, but it fills the gap." I remember that one too. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Come on, people. Don't you know I'm the quote machine? I will watch it today. All right, T-Brad, that's your assignment. You're going to watch that today, and then on our stream on Tuesday when I feel better, we're going to watch. We're going to talk about it. All right, everyone, I'm out of here. Hour before game time. I need to go take some Vicks. It's the end all cure all. Got a hole in your foot? No. Tetanus shot? No. Rub some Vicks on it. You'll be fine. And again, that is going to be the what? Yeah, Damon Wayne was Lewis Scott. Damon Wayans was Lewis Scott, superstar NBA player. Now we have to have a soundbite from Celtics Pride. I was actually thinking about it. I think I am going to go take Lewis Scott. I'm not going to jail for you. I also like the center from Lithuania when he was, because he doesn't speak much English and he only learns it from watching like rap videos. And he was at one point he's gonna drop his death row shit on people, and they call him Lurch. And I can't remember. There was a couple of years back. There was a Nick. I can't remember who he was. There was a Nick, and I actually called him Lurch just from Celtics Pride because he looked like the guy from Celtics Pride. I used to refer to him as Lurch. I'm gonna feel better. Let's see here. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Hopefully we win. The betting prediction is Panthers 27-17. My fandom score is 24-14 G-Men. Hopefully we'll have some pictures from the stadium and the seats from James Williams. I'll post them on Twitter. Follow us at Online Big Blue 1 on Twitter so you can watch that as well. We'll have our video after the game. I'm going to try to feel better, everyone. Hope everyone else has a good day. Hope everyone has a safe day. Thank you, Moet. We are out of here, and I'll play the music as the extra, but I'm not doing the intro. I can't do the voice. But you know, guys, appreciate it. Have fun. It's going to be a big win. A man has got to know his limitations. I'm out of here. Peace.